Coming to you live from the JRE Tobacco Aladino Mobile Studios, it's the Cigar Pulpit.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. I'm the Bishop of the Burn, Nick, and I still haven't gone to Pulpit Fest yet. You all are going to be hearing this after Pulpit Fest is over, but you know, I'm having to get things done in advance because by the time this episode drops, I will have landed in St. Louis about 3 hours ago, if all goes well. So I'm recording in advance, and so joining me by phone tonight we have Dave of the Smokin Butts and Tappin Ash podcast. How you doing, Dave?
I'm doing fabulous, buddy.
Appreciate you jumping into the future with me.
Hey, you're welcome, man. You know, that's my kind of thing.
It's not really as impressive here in the future as they might like us to believe, but
yeah.
But
the weather's beautiful in the future.
The weather is beautiful here in the future. I will admit that. I'm sitting out here on the patio, and I'll tell you what, man, it's very, very pleasant outside tonight. Hopefully it was as pleasant in Florida, but Lord knows. I mean, I'll know in a couple days, but for right now, I don't know. But anyway, so tonight, are you smoking anything?
I sure am.
Damn straight. Good man. I didn't know if you were.
It's too nice not to today.
Okay. So what are you smoking?
Got a Santa Dominica Puros.
I'm not familiar with that.
Something I grabbed. The wonderful blue and gold label. We'll see how she is.
Okay. Well, I will be firing up a selection from Foundation Cigars. I have the Foundation Tabernacle Goliath in the Perfecto size. It is 5x58, and it features a Connecticut broadleaf wrapper, Mexican San Andreas binder, and filler from Honduras and Nicaragua. This guy, it's a little short, stubby, kind of thing. It's got the little nipple at the end, and it's got the, kind of fat torpedo thing going on the other end. So, there's a lot going on with this cigar, but I'm looking forward to this because I like Foundation cigars, and I figured, why not? I haven't smoked one of these on the show for a while. Let's do this.
Might as well.
So, it's time to cut the cigar, and the official cutting is brought to you by 2guyscigars.com. That's the number 2guyscigars.com. Two Guys have been around for 40 years, and they are the trusted name in the cigar industry. Everybody knows Two Guys, but if you don't, please give them a try. You won't be sorry. Family owned and operated, 2guyscigars.com does the very best to provide a great selection, fair prices, and awesome customer service. I truly don't know what else you could possibly want. I mean, maybe Mr. Jonathan will come to your house and give you a personalized dance lesson if you spend over a certain dollar threshold. You'll have to talk to Dave to figure out what that certain dollar threshold is. But, if you're into that sort of thing, maybe you can arrange that. I don't know. But anyway, please go to 2guyscigars.com for your next cigar purchase. Tell them that the Cigar Pulpit sent you. There's a little comment box you can just put in the comments. Hey, Nick sent me. And just remember, that's the number 2guyscigars.com. And with that, it's time to go ahead and cut the cigar. Dude, literally, you and I are recording this. It is what? 8 p.m. 8 p.m. on Tuesday the 20th.
Yes, sir.
We are a week in the past by the time everybody listens to this. And I need to talk a little bit for just a moment before we get into we're going to be doing one of our movie things here on this episode, guys.
Let her rip.
But first, I need to kind of a dark chocolate, almost like a baker's chocolate, and maybe like an earthiness to the cold draw. That's tasty. That's good.
Nice.
Anyway, I need to talk a minute about kind of the last 36 hours. But first, as you and I light this cigar, why don't we go ahead and play the Aladino ad so that nobody has to listen to us, light and puff and all that kind of stuff.
Some say cigars are all the same. It's just not true. It's you I have to blame.
Well, I don't know, 'cause what I know, there is a cigar called Aladino Corojo.
Aladino Corojo. Aladino Corojo. They say authentic, so we're not confused, while the others say it's a word that's just abused.
I guess that's so, they can't compete. At least I'm sure Aladino can't be beat.
Corojo. Aladino Corojo. Aladino Corojo. Aladino Cigars use authentic Corojo tobacco from JRE Tobacco. This is the greatest commercial you ever heard.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm now lit. A little bit, the draw on this is a little tight. It is kind of a torpedo, and everybody knows that I never clip off enough. So I'm going to smoke it for a little while, see, what's going on, and if I have to clip off a little more, I might do that. But anyway, man, it is a little tight. But also, I guess the end is still opening up because it had that little nipple front,
I know.
Anyway, Dave. I want to briefly rant for a moment. You guys, I have crammed probably about a week and a half worth of stuff into like 2 days here. I got my newspaper done. I have recorded, and I've recorded, I think, like, this might be my 6th episode in, like, I don't know, 5 days. And
That's insane.
And with that being said, I had my kid, for some of those days, so it's like, that's why. So, I mean, there was at least one day where I think I did 2 episodes in the same day, or was going to. I mean, it's just, it's been nuts. And then today, it's the day before I leave, right? And all I had to do was do one little thing with the newspaper. Oh, God bless it. You know what? Hang on a second, Dave. I'm gonna merge this. I'm gonna see if this can, I'm gonna see if this can happen. Hang on a second. Hang on. All right. So joining us on the show with me and Dave from the Smokin' Butts and Tappin' Ash podcast, we have Trey Mac Shipley. How you doing, Trey?
Are you serious?
Dude,
Trey Mac.
you called while we were recording, buddy.
Okay, well, this is my fault. This is all on me. My bad.
I'm literally recording the episode for next Tuesday, the 27th. This is the last one I had to record, buddy. So,
well, what I was about to say, like, as soon as you answered, my plan was to go, "Are you ready, fucker?"
And the answer to that was literally, I was just explaining how today my toilet decided to just start spewing water, and I had to call a plumber and have a plumber come out and take care of my toilet at my house. Because, it's nothing like a last-minute plumbing emergency to add to the agenda.
Was she attractive?
No, it was a dude. We're talking about a literal toilet and plumbing emergency here, man.
Yeah, no, but you said a plumber came over, and I'm trying to be more... more equality first. So I just wanted to.
No, his name was Tom, and he was very nice. And Tom educated me that despite the fact that the packaging says flushable, dude wipes are not properly flushable. They will clog up.
Nope.
And
really,
yeah, he took a big old friggin' he cleared a big old clog in my pipe. And now my toilet's flushing fine, and it didn't overflow. That's the weird thing. I thought it was the wax ring because it didn't overflow. It flushed about halfway, and then all of a sudden I heard like a gurgle noise, and then the water started like kind of streaming out from where the toilet meets the floor tile, which to me indicated wax ring. But
yeah,
he said it wasn't the wax ring. He said there was a clog in my line. caused by the
Yeah, it
dude
would have
wipes.
backed up over the wax ring.
Yeah.
Was the only way it could have happened.
Well, there you
need
go.
to buy yourself a bidet, Nick.
See.
Oh, yeah. No. You need to. It's life changing.
Yeah.
See, but okay.
It is literally life-changing.
But, like, isn't it cold water?
You can get warm
Sometimes
water.
it's nice. So, yeah, you can get an electric one, which sounds not like a great idea.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, there's water involved. I don't want an electric anything near my butthole with water.
Hey, if you're going to go, at least you're going to go happy.
Well, I'll go with a clean butthole.
Try it one time. Just try it one time.
I mean, I guess
you'll have excuses to use the restroom.
I will say,
Oh, yeah.
I guess a little shot of cold water in the anus probably would wake you up in the morning pretty good.
Yeah, especially after a long night of beers and Taco Bell.
Oh,
Kind of nice.
that's nothing but regret right there. So
Every time.
Anyway. Well, Trey Mac, do you want me to call you back when we're done?
Yeah, that'd be great. I'm sorry for the intrusion.
Oh, no
That was
intrusion.
not my,
No intrusion.
No,
Well-
so you boys do your thing, and
Well, see, and this is the thing. This episode's coming out in the future. So by now, we've had story time with Trey Mac, and everybody has heard your story at Pulpit Fest.
everybody at Pulpit Fest. Not everybody that listens to the podcast.
Mm-mm. No. That's a special Pulpit Fest thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, there will be no evidence of this story. None.
Statute of limitations still may not be up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, all right. You guys do your thing. Hit me back later.
All right, Trey. Talk to you.
Later, buddy.
All right, see you guys.
Bye. Okay, Dave. It looks like you're alone and single with me now.
No, not again. I fell for this before.
Yeah. Hey, let's do me a quick favor. I'm not even going to stop the recording. We're just going to go roll with this. I'm going to hang up on you, and I'm going to call you back because it's sounding different because I did the three-way call thing.
It is sounding much different.
All right, so let me hang up, and I'll call you right back. So, now that we've got that taken care of. Ooh, I'm getting text messages here. Oh, no, damn it. Don't call Trey. This is live radio here, guys, or podcasting, whatever. I guess I could very well edit this, but why? Why would I do that? Oh, are you there?
Okay.
And we got to figure this out. And you sound better again.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, I appreciate you indulging me on that. I saw the call coming in, and I'm like, I could call him back.
Yeah.
But why?
I'm always down for a surprise guest.
See, there you go. We got a surprise guest. I just didn't know it was going to, nuke the freaking phone line to where you sound like you're calling me from a fucking russet potato, but, whatever. So,
yeah.
Anyway.
Your board didn't start smoking or something crazy.
Mm-hmm. Realistically, it's not going to take much to get this board to blow up these days. I mean, it's older. It's put in a lot of miles.
Yep. It's seen the road.
It has seen the road. So, yeah, I just touched on my major thing. So, yeah, my toilet decided to just start, leaking water all over the place. And obviously I had to get that fixed before I left because, not that anybody's going to be using it while I'm gone, but the last thing in the world I want to do is come home to a broken toilet.
Yeah, that's a no-go.
Yeah, so...
In a house full of water.
No shit. That's the other thing. Well, I did turn off the water to the toilet almost immediately because I didn't want anything like the tank or the bowl refilling,
Good thinking.
But yeah, the guy, he came, he flushed it out, and then flushed the toilet about 20 times, and it did fine. So I guess you're right. It must have just clogged up enough to overflow the wax ring, which I'd never heard of. But yeah, such is life.
I'm just pulling that straight out of my ass too. That may not be a thing.
Well, I wouldn't think it would be because that wax ring's supposed to be the seal. But
yeah, I just don't know where else it would have came out.
I don't either, which makes me wonder if I do have a bad wax. But it's not doing it now, So I don't fucking know. All I know is he says dude wipes are not flushable despite what the packaging says. So I guess maybe if you are a dude wipe user, you watch your ass. So.
Yeah, our last bout with the plumber was over baby wipes that said they were flushable. And that was a bad deal.
Same concept, but yeah, you don't want to do that. Yeah. Yeah. Well, and even the packaging says only flush one wipe per flush, you know? So they know. They have instructions as to whether or not it's flushable on the packaging. Like,
absolutely. It's a sales tactic.
Yeah, so they know full well that it's really not flushable. But, yeah. And then, so he's like, you can still use them, just throw them away. And I'm thinking, what? I'm like, the last thing in the world I want to do is put a bunch of poopy wipes in a garbage can. Like, I'm like, no, that's disgusting. You know?
That's why you need a bidet.
Oh, Lord.
Dude, I'm telling you, next time you're down, give the old throne a test drive.
You inviting me to poop at your house?
I'm friendly like that.
Obviously.
Very inviting.
Obviously. So I'm recording this with you. I have to pack. And after I pack, tomorrow morning I'm getting up at the butt crack of dawn. I'm going to get my newspapers. I'm doing the deliveries. And then after that, I am hitting the road. Well, the Friendly Skies. The road to the Friendly Skies. I'm driving to the airport. I'm like, wait a minute. That sounds like I'm driving down. I'm not driving down. So, anyway. So, no, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a fun time. It kind of sucks you can't make it.
Should be, man. Sounds like you have big plans.
Oh, dude. It's going to be nuts. I mean, by now everybody's, everybody who's been there, they've been there. They know what's what. They know that not one, but two different trips, one to Nicaragua and one to Honduras, were given away.
Sweet.
We've got boxes of cigars that were raffled off. There was an autographed 8x10 photo of Pinky that was raffled off. We even
had face blurred out.
It wasn't blurred. There might be a photo that goes up on my Instagram at some point so that everybody can see it. But there's a giant plume of smoke covering it, so it's pretty funny.
Cool.
And then, of course, this was one I was really particularly happy with. We raffled off a copy of a Cigar Pulpit audiobook original, Larry the Mute Reads the Bible. And let me tell you,
oh goodness,
that it's only a 1 CD. He speed read it, man. Yeah, it
sounds exhilarating.
It's impressive. It's really impressive. I won't lie to you. Oh. Mm-hmm. And there was all kinds of other fun to be had. But for anybody interested, the Pulpit Fest episode will be on Friday, August the 30th. There was no way for me to be able to get that all edited up and properly put out on Tuesday, the 27th, when I was literally landing at 8:30 Monday night. Again, assuming all goes well.
Yep.
Because that's the other thing. I want to rant for a quick second, and then we'll get into our thing, I promise.
Okay.
Freaking Southwest Airlines. When I bought these fucking tickets, I bought a direct flight from St. Louis to Jacksonville and a direct flight from Jacksonville back to St. Louis. And somewhere along the way, Southwest decided, no. We're not going to make this that easy on you. No. We're going to give you that direct flight from St. Louis to Jacksonville. Now, even though you checked in at the appropriate time, 24 hours in advance, we're still going to give you boarding spot C6, which is bullshit because that's like the ass end of the line. And I don't understand how in the hell, when I'm literally pounding on the check-in button right at the appropriate time, I end up skipping both the A group and the B group to get the 6th spot in the C group. But whatever, that's neither here nor there. But what does piss me off is when they decided that my return flight from Jacksonville to St. Louis, that needed to suddenly become a flight from Jacksonville to Denver to then have an hour and 10-minute layover in Denver and then fly from fucking Denver to St. Louis.
Yeah, that sucks, dude. That sounds awful.
Why am I having to do this? Why am I having to do this? it pisses me off. I don't want to go to Denver. I don't. And if I did want to go to Denver, I would have wanted to go over the weekend when the Rocky Mountain Cigar Festival was going on. But I couldn't because I had Pulpit Fest. So, such is life. Well, anyway. That's why I'm saying assuming all goes well. Because for all I know, I might be trapped in Denver when this episode comes out. I might
get snowed in.
I might be like living in the Illuminati airport.
Oh shit! I've seen documentaries on that.
Right? The Denver airport's a weird airport, man. So
that's what I have heard.
Yeah. So anyway, like I was saying, we're going to be doing a movie thing. So why don't we just go ahead and jump right into that?
Okay.
It's time for the Villiger Cigars Entertainment Report, brought to you by
Villiger.
Villiger Cigars, one of the leading cigar and cigarello manufacturers in the world, founded in 1888 and still family-owned and operated. Head over to VilligerCigars.com and check the store locator to find a shop near you that carries them. We guarantee that Villiger Cigars will be a wonderful addition to your humidor and cigar rotation. A little bit of saltiness to this cigar. It's good. I mean, it's not bad. The draw on it is still a little tight for my taste, but whatever.
This thing I'm smoking is pretty tasty. It tastes like a nice piece of buttery toast. It's very good. It has a razor sharp burn line.
I do like buttery toast.
I'm gonna guess that I got this from you, actually.
Oh, that's possible.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. There's a place up here called First Watch. It's like a breakfast place. I'll admit that like their breakfast food by and large I'm not super impressed with because for the most part I think it's overpriced and just kind of whatever. But man, their fucking toast. I don't know what bread they're using, but their toast is out of this world the best toast I've ever had. And I know that's really weird to say that's the best toast. Like that's a weird thing to rave about. But I'm telling you, I would go there just to buy the toast.
Damn, that's some good ass toast.
It is ridiculously good toast. Ridiculously good. So, anyway, we're gonna do another top 10 movie by genre here, and it's been a minute since we've done one of these, and you and I we've been dancing around this specific one for a while. I didn't want to jump right into it because I figured that the people would expect it, but you know what? I needed something that you and I could just get together and just bang out. And
absolutely.
And so tonight we're going to be doing the top 10 comic book movies. Now, these are all movies that are based on comic books. They do not have to be superheroes. They are just movies that are based on comic book material. So, with that said, I will be happy to let you go first.
Well, you know what? The first thing I got to do is do some redacting from our last episode. Because apparently my entire life I've been lumping sci-fi and fantasy together.
You know what? I forgot the amount of controversy that came about because of that episode.
I caused a big old shitstorm on Facebook.
You really did. The parishioners group went fucking nuts at you.
Yeah, they did. Oh my gosh.
That. Yeah.
So violent.
Yeah. There was a lot of anger about the mixing of fantasy and sci-fi.
But that being said, though, things that they were saying that they agreed with being sci-fi after I did some research are not sci-fi at all.
Oh, boy.
Like Star Wars. There's nothing about Star Wars that's sci-fi. That is a straight-up fantasy.
Spaceships and laser blasters and lightsabers and all kinds of shit.
Yeah, but what does that have to do with science?
Oh my gosh, you're just picking a fight now. I love it.
You've made a freaking animal.
I love it.
Turn me into an animal.
I will say, I've always said that when you break down Star Wars, it's, there's a princess that's abducted by, the evil the evil bad guy, and that this little squire, this peasant boy, has to rise up, to go and save her and all this kind of stuff. And it's fantasy. It's totally it's space fantasy, but I would say that it's I think sci-fi and fantasy kind of like if we're talking like a Venn diagram of movies, there is that little vagina in the middle of the two circles that, tell me it doesn't look like that. Come on, you're giggling. Tell me it doesn't look like that. Okay.
For sure. I think they're like half brother and sister. Mm-hmm. They have one same parent.
Yeah.
Because I can see elements from both being the other one and so on. But whatever. It turns out that I'm not a huge fan of straight up sci-fi.
Well, and here's my thing. Would you count like a movie about like King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table? I would count that as maybe fantasy. I wouldn't, necessarily count it as sci-fi.
Yeah, absolutely. Which I really hate the term fantasy movie.
Yeah.
Because in my head, I was like, well, that dude's talking about a porn. Like,
I didn't go there.
I'm not going to call my freaking movies fantasy movies.
I will say I've had at least 2 different listeners reach out and say that they want to do the episode with me where we do the top 10 porn movies. My problem is I don't know if I could come up with 10 different ones.
You just watch the same one over and over again?
No, it's like you just... God damn. I was going to say, you just go to Pornhub and look at the little clips, man. I don't know what movie they're from, but, it's like, no. Anyway. There was that one that they did that was the spoof of the Batman 60s TV show. They actually did a version of that porno where they took the sex scenes out and they just like edited together the spoof. And it was actually a really pretty decent like Batman 60s like parody.
That's awesome.
But like I said, everybody's going there to watch the sex, but whatever. All right, so comic book movies. So yeah, you pissed everybody off.
Movies.
So let's see if this one can be a little less. Well, I like the controversy. I thought it was fun that everybody was going nuts. So
I got them all riled up.
You did.
All right, this one was pretty easy for me, and I'm gonna bet we only share a couple of movies.
Maybe.
Top 10, if I had to guess.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. This could get interesting.
Yep, absolutely.
So okay. So what's your number?
I'll go first.
What's your number 10?
I just started writing these in order. I just went my favorite, and they just started coming out. You know what I mean?
Well, see, I wrote a bunch of them down, but I did re-rank them. So
I didn't re-rank anything. I plugged one that I had forgotten about in between 2 others, but that's it. So number 10, I'm going to go with Hellboy with Ron Perlman.
Okay.
I thought that was freaking phenomenal.
Dude, I have in my honorable mentions, I have a note that says any Hellboy movie. And I even say,
except the latest one.
No. You were just about to say that. I watched the David Harbour Hellboy movie.
Yeah.
And look, was it as good as the ones with Ron Perlman? No, it was not. Was it entertaining? Fuck yes, it was entertaining. I sat out on my patio watching that on my iPad, having cigars, and it was great. I enjoyed it. It was a little gorier than the 2 Ron Perlman ones, and I think that's what maybe caught a little bit of heat. I don't know, but yeah.
What I didn't like about it, which I thought it started out great. Like, he was wonderful as Hellboy, looked different, which was nice that they didn't just try to replicate the look. Cause he looks different in every book. You know what I mean? And I thought the first half was really well done.
Yeah.
But like at the middle part, around the spot where they find the walking house.
Yeah.
They just crammed like 3 whole movies in the second half of that movie.
They did. It got a little crunched together. And admittedly, I think they took from a couple of different Hellboy stories and instead of focusing on just one. And so that one, I'll give you that. I'm not saying it's my favorite. I'm saying it's easily the 3rd favorite of the 3, okay? But I still think in terms of like... well, yes, it is. I mean, it was in terms of quality, you dick. But I think in terms of of quality of movie, dude, I'd still stack it up against a lot of other movies.
Oh yeah, there's a lot worse.
Yeah,
we'll say that.
And have you seen the trailer for the new Hellboy?
Yeah, it looks really good.
This
man.
is coming
I didn't
out
even know about it.
Totally under the radar. Nobody's talking about this movie, but there's a new Hellboy movie coming out like this year, and it looks amazing. It looks super scary, and
it looks like the comics.
I mean, I'm all in for it. So
me too.
Yeah. So okay, but I'm sorry I interrupted you about Hellboy.
No, that's okay. That was pretty much it.
Okay. Well,
but yeah, when that movie came out, it was totally different from every other.
It was
comic book movie. They took a huge chance and it paid off. All the characters were great.
I wish we would have gotten the third one.
I know. Yeah,
because
I'm really sad.
That was Guillermo del Toro that was directing that, and yeah, I mean, like. I really wish we would have gotten the third one to close out that trilogy. I think that would have been nice.
You never know. It might happen.
Dude, Ron Perlman's getting up there in age. Yeah. And hell, I think he's on Noah's death list.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I think
he's a goner.
I think he's on Noah's 2024 death list prediction. You know? So, I'm just saying. Dang. So,
is he as old as Harrison Ford?
Fuck, I don't know. Kicking? He's not only kicking, he's like everywhere right now.
Yeah, he's the Red Hulk. He's freaking flying planes.
Crazy. So my number 10 is The Rocketeer.
Good choice.
Dude, it's not as good as the comics, but it's a fantastic movie. There's something about the visuals of that helmet with the jetpack and the like kind of 19, that was more 1940s kind of 30s, 40s, kind of look and everything. Dude, and then you have his girlfriend who's an obvious like homage to Betty Page and just all this and fighting the Nazis and it's such a great movie. I really dig The Rocketeer.
Yeah, you cannot beat the character costume design. It's as cool as it gets, man. Mm-hmm. Looks like a human rocket.
It does. So,
and on that subject, I never really knew about Dave Stevens until this latest boom of Dave Stevens artwork. Fans have come out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
And that dude is amazing. Was amazing.
I've got a couple of his art books inside. He was such a great artist.
Yeah, like the perfectionist.
And I'll tell you, there's every one of these artists has something that they like perfect and make their own. Some guys do really, really nice, cars. Some guys draw really, really nice dinosaurs, But Dave Stevens and Frank Cho, the two of them together, they draw some amazing women.
Yep. They were all about the ladies.
They were. Frank Cho also draws some badass dinosaurs and giant apes. I'm just saying.
Yep. I'm not crazy about his dudes. Like,
nah.
They look very generic.
Yeah, not so much.
But I'm not reading the comics to look at this dude character.
I was going to say, if you're buying a Frank Cho comic, you're buying it because it's got dinosaurs, monkeys, or women. Or all three.
That's right.
So.
And dachshunds.
Oh, Liberty Meadows is one of the best freaking comics, dude.
I agree.
I love Liberty Meadows. It's funny as shit. I wish he'd go back and do more of that.
Yeah, we're going.
I know.
Way off topic.
We're way off topic. So okay, so that was my number 10 was The Rocketeer.
Rein it back in. Rein it back in.
Okay. We're getting nerdy, folks.
Oh, super nerdy.
Oh God.
Might as well dig in, right?
Why the fuck not? It's like at this point, I literally have to record this and pack. So screw it. I'm gonna have fun. So what's your number 9?
My number 9 is Mr. Jim Carrey as The Mask. Fantastic freaking movie.
It was a good movie. I kind of overlooked that one because it became more of a...
It holds up, too.
It became more of a Jim Carrey vehicle. But...
Yeah.
Okay. No, you know what? I can't...
He did it justice, even though it was just to put Jim Carrey in a movie.
And you know what? Here's the other thing. That was... what's her nut?
What?
God,
Cameron Diaz?
Cameron Diaz. But that was like did she have like plastic surgery or some sort of like surgery done? Because she looks different in that movie than she does in pretty much everything after that.
Yep, she does.
And she was amazing looking in that movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she was amazing looking after that movie.
Well,
also.
yes, but like I prefer The Mask, Cameron Diaz versus like,
those
Pinnacle. Charlie's Angels, Cameron Diaz,
I still like Something About Mary.
Oh, yeah.
Cameron Diaz. That's like the sweet spot.
It kind of
in
is
the transition.
Yep. I'll give you that. Okay, so The Mask. My number 9 is 300. Dude.
Okay.
I mean, from a stylistic standpoint, that movie looks totally different than what you would have expected out of movies. It has the feel of a comic book to it. You have the 300 Spartans going up against the army of Persians. It's this story of just sheer badassery and everything, and it just oozes testosterone, and but like I said, visually it's a very unique movie, and I enjoyed it. So 300 is my number 9.
I used to really love that movie.
Yeah.
And I did for a good while. But then after watching so many of Snyder's movies, they all look just like that movie.
But here's the thing. That was one of the first ones. So just be happy with it.
Yeah.
I
try. Did he have one before that? Or was that the first one?
Well, that was the one that led to him doing Watchmen. And then Watchmen...
Which I like much better.
I don't have Watchmen on my list. I'll be honest about that. I don't have Watchmen on my list.
I don't either.
And I like Watchmen for what it is, but I didn't like the change in the ending. Kind of bothered me a little bit. Because I liked the original, the comic ending.
Yeah, I don't think they had the technology to make it look
probably not
worth the crap.
All in all, I mean, I thought The Watchmen was a really good movie. But I thought 300 was more, I don't know. I thought 300 was more universal. That's a movie that like you could take anybody, to watch, and they're not gonna like immediately turn their nose and be like, superheroes. It's like, this is like a really good movie.
Yeah, I took my wife and a couple buddies to Watchmen.
Yeah.
And all but one of them were like, dude, what the fuck was that? It's like, well, it was a 3-hour awesome comic book movie.
It was. But I liked 300. So, besides, 300 is where you get this is Sparta, and he like kicks the dude into the pit. I mean, like, come on. Yep. That spawns so many memes, so.
Yeah, I still hear that daily.
See? There you go.
Somebody says it no matter where I'm at.
I mean,
I don't know.
There you go. So what's your number 8?
My number 8 used to be number 1. Oh. Just over the years, it's kind of been bumped down the list, not to take away from its greatness.
Okay.
Because to me, it was the first just smack you in the face, badass comic book movie, and that's Batman 1989.
All right.
Michael Keaton.
So, I think it's probably no secret that I have a Batman entry on my list. However, it might surprise you that it's not this one. It was a toss-up between this one and the one that I did go with.
Yeah, I'm sure I probably know which one.
You probably do. But this one, you're right. I was a young kid. This one kind of started it all. I was reading Batman before this movie came out, but this was an event, man. This was the 1989 Batmania. People were going nuts. I mean, and it was. You're right. It was an amazing movie, but I just feel like, I feel like it opened the door. It showed us how cool it could be. But I feel like other ones have come along later that did it cooler. And so I'm giving it credit for that. But in terms of a pioneer, a trailblazer, yeah, I think the 89 Batman movie holds up.
Heck yeah, man. I remember we lived in Fort Lewis, Washington, which is by Tacoma area. We went to the drive-thru and watched it. Or the drive-in.
Yeah.
Not the drive-thru.
Batman Returns holds up pretty well too.
Yeah, it does. I like it better now than I did when I was a kid.
Yeah. I'm still not the biggest fan of Danny DeVito's Penguin. It's just so filthy.
Yeah, I agree. And, I think that's the only downside to that movie is that character.
Mm-hmm.
Not that it was terrible, but it just wasn't.
It wasn't what I wanted.
What we wanted.
Well, we've seen so much cooler Penguin since then. I mean, I'm looking really forward to this HBO show with Colin Farrell, the Penguin one that's coming out based off the Batman, and I'm really looking forward to that. So, no, there's some cool shit that they've done with the Penguin since then, and I think I don't know, it was early. They didn't get him down, but they've gotten him down since. So,
heck yeah.
Anyway. Okay, so that's your number 8, is the 89 Batman, huh?
Yep.
So my number 8 is a more recent entry from DC Comics, and it's Wonder Woman.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one.
The first one, not 1984, but the first one was really good.
I'll go ahead and put this out there. Wonder Woman 84 is my least favorite superhero movie ever.
Oh, I can't say that.
Oh, buddy.
I can't say that.
It's tied with that and The Flash.
The Flash was pretty bad. But, dude, X3 or X-Men 3, Last Stand or whatever, that was pretty bad.
Oh, I'll still put it above those.
I mean,
just from elements of it. Just certain elements of it.
Yeah. And it's sad because I really like Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. I love Pedro Pascal and like anything that man does practically.
Except that.
And that was bad. It just wasn't
good.
That was
really bad.
It just wasn't good. And yeah, I was disappointed in it. But the first one with Chris Pine, amazing movie. I mean, they did Wonder Woman well, and I was impressed with it. So, that's my number 8.
Yep, it was a great one, especially the scene where they're in the war.
Oh, dude!
She just gets up out of the trenches.
When she gets up out of the trenches and starts
shit,
running at the Germans, crossing the no man's land area, and there's bombs and guns and bullets flying and everything, and she's just being a badass. Holy shit! That is, yeah. It's an amazing, amazing scene. So.
Yep, I agree.
Okay. So.
All right.
Number 7.
Going with Guardians of the Galaxy 1. Phenomenal movie.
So I
think it could easily be in my top 3 even, but there's movies that I like better because of different reasons. I absolutely adore that movie.
So. I limited myself to only one MCU post-Iron Man movie, okay? So Iron Man came out in, 2008? And kickstarted the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and, owned by, not originally by Disney. Disney came along later. But, I limited myself to only one because I could have gone with others. And Guardians was one that was on the short list that would have made this list, but it did not. So, we'll get to my...
little spoiler, I only have one more MCU movie on my list.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll have the same one. Now, one that's not an MCU movie, but it is a Marvel movie. My number 7 is X2, X-Men 2.
Yep.
Dude, I feel like X-Men 2 is the pinnacle of the X-Men movies. If you take out the Deadpools, which I don't have any of the Deadpools on my list. But like, if you take out the Deadpools, I feel like X-Men 2 barely nudges above Days of Future Past and Logan to take the top spot in terms of the Fox X-Men movies for me. It was...
I'm right there with you, man.
It was the best. It was absolutely the best. They sold us on the concept with X-Men 1. They went straight at it with X-Men 2. And then they just shat the bed with X-Men 3.
Yeah, they should have just waited for Bryan Singer to come back after that failed Superman movie. Mm-hmm. But they didn't and did some just god-awful bullshit.
But X-Men 2 is my number 7. So.
Yeah, man, I love that movie. We'll get back to that.
Okay. Okay.
So we're at number 6?
Number 6. Number 6.
Number 6 is Blade 2.
Also a very, very good movie.
Yeah, man, I like this one better than the first one. I love the first one.
I love the first one.
It was a good introduction. But Blade 2 with those their vampires, that their jaw splits open sideways, dude, that scared the shit out of me. Mm-hmm. And I was a damn adult by then. Mm-hmm. And they were just kicking each other's ass and like no holds barred.
Man, talk about another series that was really good for the first 2. Sold you on the concept, reached for the stars with the second one, and just shat the bed with the third one.
I don't mind the third one. It's probably about as good as the Punisher Warzone.
Oh, yeah.
Which was okay.
I always forget about that one. That was the non-Thomas Jane Punisher movie. Before.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Didn't that dude
but it
die?
Was okay. Yeah, he was in the last Star Wars series before the Acolyte.
Yeah. And he passed away,
whichever
right?
One that was. Yes, Ray Stevens.
Ray Stevens, that's it. Yep. Yeah.
Not Ray Stevens, I don't think, but Ray Stevenson.
Oh, you're right. Ray Stevens.
Stevens is a country singer.
He's the one who did the streak.
It's me again, Margaret.
Oh, yes, they call him the streak.
Fastest thing on 2 feet.
That's it. Yeah. Holy shit. See, that's the thing. We don't plan for this. Well, we did a little planning for this show, but you can never predict that you're going to be talking about fucking Ray Stevens pulling the streak, you know?
I know.
Anyway. Okay, I'm sorry. Where were we? You were talking about your number 6.
Number 6.
Blade 2. Blade 2.
Which I need to watch that again.
Mm-hmm.
Which, everybody who hasn't seen Deadpool, the new one, should have already. So I'm just gonna say this.
Yeah.
Like, it took me a minute.
Well, wait. If you haven't seen Deadpool Wolverine, maybe consider skipping ahead by about a minute to a minute and a half. But but realistically, by now, I think everybody on Earth's seen it at least once. So
or know what's happening.
So I'll just say spoiler alert, but it's kind of on you at this point.
But dude, it took me a while. Like, when I got home after watching Deadpool, because Wesley Snipes and him were going back and forth about, hey, you remember me? Like, yeah, I remember you, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Whatever they said.
Yeah.
I was like, what's their deal? I don't understand. And I was sitting on my couch that night. I'm like, oh shit, freaking Ryan Reynolds was Hannibal King in that movie.
In Deadpool 3, yeah, or Blade 3.
Blade 3, yeah.
Yep.
And they hated each other.
They did. I'll be honest. When Snipes first walked out, I at first went like, "Who's that?" And then it dawned on me who it was, because it was a surprise, but B, Wesley Snipes has gotten much smaller. Like, I mean, he's obviously gotten older, so he's going to lose some bulk, but like, he shrunk a lot to where I was like, "Who is that?" And I'm like, "Oh fuck, that's Blade," you know?
Yeah, I mean, he's got to be pushing 70.
Mm-hmm. You would think.
Has to be. He was like
shit.
30-ish in the 80s.
Real quick, to the Googles. 30-ish in the 80s. 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 30-ish in the 80s.
To the Google.
To the Googles. Wesley Snipes age. 62.
Well, there we go.
He was born
Close enough.
July 31st, 1962.
He's old enough for Social Security.
In Orlando, Florida. He would have been an hour and a half from Pulpit Fest.
Hey, you never know. You might see him.
You know, wouldn't that have been a fucking trip if we're just sitting there and all of a sudden Wesley Snipes walks up and it's like, holy shit,
That'd be
Blade.
awesome.
Oh, God. So my number 6 was Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
I'm going to be honest with you. I have not watched that.
Dude, if you want to find probably one of the most, I don't want to say, oh God, sorry, my candle.
Are you dying?
My candle is blowing its smoke.
Come back
at
to
me.
us, Nick. Come back.
No, I know, my candle's blowing its
Don't
smoke
go to
at
the
me.
light.
And that's a problem. But anyway, I don't want to say faithful in terms of like actual full story adaptation because, you know, they obviously made some changes to adapt to the movies. But faithful in terms of like, this feels like a comic book. Dude, I don't know if you can get any better than Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Is it children friendly?
How old of children?
Like 11.
It's been a minute since I watched it, but I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
There's no nudity, and I don't think there's any like extreme. It's like video game fighting, you know.
Oh yeah, he'll love it then.
You know, so I think it would be appropriate. But I'll tell you, in terms of casting, dude, Michael Cera, Scott Pilgrim, you know, you had Chris Evans is in it as one of the boyfriends.
Yeah, I knew that.
It's awesome. It's one of the most well cast movies. I mean, it is so great. Now they ended up doing an animated version that I don't remember where that went. Was it Netflix? It went somewhere where they
I did watch parts of that.
Where they brought the cast back to actually do the voices of the characters. I haven't watched that yet, but it's on my list. But
I watched parts of it, but then I thought I better watch the movie first.
Dude, watch the movie. The movie is quality. So, Scott Pilgrim versus the World. And have you read the comics, their books?
No, I have not.
You're breaking my heart, man. So
well,
good.
If you have them, you can let me borrow them.
I have them. They're in my living room right now.
7. Oh, they're actually in your living room?
Yeah.
We don't have to dig for them?
We do not have to dig for those. Well, Scott Pilgrim books, they're like little manga kind of tomes. They're like the little they're like those. So like they were on a bookshelf. They were not on, or they're not bagged and boarded. So, yep.
All right.
Quality comics and a super quality movie. So.
Heck yeah.
Probably Michael Cera's other good movie, other than Superbad.
Superbad was so good.
Superbad was really good.
Yeah, we've been introducing Max, my 16-year-old, to movies from our past. And that was one from last year that we watched. And
nice.
Everybody still cracked the hell up.
It's a good movie.
So good. It is. So, it's solid, man.
Super solid.
It doesn't get a whole lot better.
Speaking of solid, this cigar from Foundation, the Tabernacle Goliath, I'm about halfway through it at this point. It's a nice slow smoke, and the draw on it has opened up to where it's not, I don't feel like I'm sucking a grape through a straw anymore. The flavor on it, you get the nice earthy tones, you get a little spice, you get that kind of dark chocolatey thing going on. I'm really, really digging it. And I'm glad I have one more of these still in the house.
Heck yeah. Awesome, man. Whatever this thing is I'm smoking, it's going like a champ. I'm really liking it. I'll probably never see another one.
Whatever this thing is I'm smoking is really good.
Yeah, it seems to be a Maduro of some sort, torpedo. And man, the burn line is still just rock solid. I haven't had to relight it.
Well, good.
At all, and I'm right at halfway also.
That's awesome. Well, good.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're in the top 5 now.
Top 5, baby.
What's your number 5?
All right, let me get my list back up here.
Oh,
My number 5.
I didn't realize that I threw you off.
No, you didn't. My phone screen went black. So.
Oh yeah.
All right. So this one is my favorite comic book character. Okay.
Okay.
For everybody out there that has been wondering, it's the Punisher. And it's the Thomas Jane Punisher.
It's a good movie. It's not on my top 10, but it's actually a good movie. It gets a lot of shit.
Every time I watch it, yeah, I know. I don't understand why at all.
No.
Because he nailed the part. The movie is just weird enough to be like, yeah, this is the Punisher. Like, this is how the Punisher starts. Like, it's got freaking Kevin Nash.
Dude.
For Christ's sake in it.
Kevin Nash legit got stabbed.
I know. In the chest with a real knife.
I know.
And just kept on beating ass.
And Thomas Jane, apparently, like that look on his face when it goes down, he realizes what he just did, and he's like, oh, shit. But then Kevin Nash just continues to beat the piss out of him.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So.
And the whole scene when the weird guy with the guitars in the cafe.
Yes.
That's my favorite part, dude. Gets in that kick-ass muscle car. There's nothing bad about that movie. Everybody can F off who says there is.
Even John Travolta, which, let's be real, John Travolta was chewing up the scenery in that movie. He was overacting like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
But it was
the
fine.
Weakest part, but I still loved it.
But that's the thing. He was still fine. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I dig it. I do like the Thomas Jane Punisher movie.
Did you ever see the short that they did years
I was going to
later?
ask you about that. What was it, Laundry Day or something like that?
Where the Punisher's doing his laundry.
He's at the laundromat doing his laundry. He's got the skull shirt in the wash and has to take out some guys. So
that's so good.
Oh God, yeah. That was just a little just Thomas Jane wanted to do it again kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, and apparently they're using him with John Bernthal to help guide him in the new Daredevil.
Really?
To kind of get back that same tone.
Well, good.
That's what I read anyway. You never know if that's true.
John Bernthal is the Punisher. I mean...
Oh, yeah. He's where it's at now. He's the shit.
He was good. Thomas Jane, though, underrated.
Absolutely.
So, my number 5 is going to go back to, give or take, around that same time period of comic book movies. And we have, in my opinion, the best Spider-Man movie, which would be Spider-Man 2 with Dr. Octopus.
That's your favorite one, huh?
It's my favorite Spider-Man movie, dude.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, okay, which one are you going to... Do you have a Spider-Man movie coming up that I need to, just hold off on this conversation?
You know what? Spider-Man's my second favorite, which, you know what? I totally forgot about a movie that should be on this list. Should be Into the Spider-Verse.
Well,
should definitely be in my top 10.
All right.
But it's not.
I considered it, but we didn't specify animated or live action. I went with strictly live action. So, we can consider animated films later. If we are considering animated films, Into the Spider-Verse is going to be really high up there. But
yeah, next time we'll do the animated movies.
Okay.
But no, I don't have a Spider-Man movie on my list.
But okay, then let's debate. What the fuck is, in terms of live action Spider-Man movies, name one that's better than Spider-Man 2.
I actually like the first Amazing Spider-Man with Garfield.
Also very good. I'll give you
that. Lizard.
I'll give you that. But I feel like Spider-Man 2 with Dr. Octopus, I feel like we got not just a good Spider-Man movie, but we also got a very well played, well-rounded, sympathetic villain. And that's something that we just don't get in a lot of comic book movies. And I liked him better than any other villain we've had. The first one with William Dafoe as the Green Goblin. I mean, dude, look, I loved the movie, but then Spider-Man 2 came out, and I was like, oh, this is much better, Then Spider-Man
Yeah,
3 came out, and it was a shit in the bed moment. Boy, they did that a lot, you know?
Yeah.
Introduce the concept, really do well, and then shit the bed.
Yeah, I just wasn't ever a fan of Tobey Maguire as Peter Parker. It just didn't fit with me. Kind of like how Cavill never was my Superman.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Superman.
I'll give you the Superman one. But dude, I liked Tobey Maguire as Peter Parker because he had that nerdiness thing going on. Whereas Andrew Garfield was kind of too cool for school, you know? He kind of had that kind of attitude. And he didn't have what I considered to be the nerdy Peter Parker attitude. He was just kind of like I said, just, you know, too cool for school. He just was trying, you know.
What was missing for me with Maguire was Spider-Man's kind of smart-ass. And Maguire just didn't pull that off at all.
I will say, I think Garfield made a better Spider-Man. I think Maguire made a better Peter Parker.
I think Tom, what's his face?
Holland
makes the best Peter Parker. To me. But
he's a good one. I
don't know. There's only really one kind of bad Spider-Man movie. Kind of two.
Spider-Man 3 was really bad.
It was really bad. Yep. Venom looked cool, but dude, what the hell were they thinking?
Venom looked a lot cooler in Venom than he did in Spider-Man 3. Now, had they not crammed in Venom and they just would have done the Sandman thing, I think that would have made a much better movie. I think they screwed over Sam Raimi by forcing him to include Venom. He didn't want to do that. And I think if they just would have let him run with Sandman and, you know, maybe another classic villain if he really wanted to, if maybe Sandman wasn't enough for a movie, you know, but they forced his hand with Venom and you know, you end up with what, Topher Grace, you know? You know, that 70s show, it's like, oh god.
Yeah.
That was that
what
was
the hell was that?
It wasn't, that didn't work. But and we won't even get into the dancing scene. But
no, but that's not even my least favorite Spider-Man movie. I like The Amazing Spider-Man 2 less, with Electro and frickin' who knows what, Rhino in a robot suit.
Yeah. Wait, was Rhino in the robot suit in 2, or was he in the robot suit with 1?
I don't know. That was bad, and whichever movie it was in.
Paul Giamatti. It's like, of all he makes some good movies, and then all of a sudden, here he is as Rhino. Which, have you seen the trailer for the new Craven movie that's coming out?
Dude, I was just talking about this to my friend Monty, and I don't want to like it. But this trailer that just came out
looks good.
Phenomenal.
And you see at the end, I think we might be getting a comic accurate Rhino.
Yeah, totally.
Which it's like
the new trailer, you see him like full blown.
It's like, come on, fucking Sony, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? It's like, why are you giving us this stuff when you could have done it when you had Spider-Man? You know?
I know.
I don't know. And I guess they
still have
kind of technically do have Spider-Man, but they do and they don't. But anyway, whatever. So no, for my money, Spider-Man 2 with Dr. Octopus is, for my money, the best single Spider-Man movie.
Okay.
So.
All right, it is a good one.
Okay. Number 4.
Which Aunt May is the best one on your list?
Oh, easily the Tom
Marissa
Holland,
Tomei.
Marissa Tomei. Oh yeah. Okay. Aunt May got younger and hotter in every one of them.
Just wanted to make sure we were on the same page there.
Oh, there's no competition there. Yeah.
All right. So my number 4, right?
Yes, number 4.
I betcha is the only MCU movie you have on your list, and that's Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
All right, we're just going to go ahead and skip ahead for a moment. That's my number 3. So we can just straight up discuss this one now.
All right, cool. Yeah, we'll just do a switcheroo.
We'll do a switcheroo there. So, yeah, no, that's my number 3 movie. And it is by far the best MCU entry that has come
Yep.
out. It was all parts espionage and spy action and Captain America action, and you got a little World War II mixed in there. I mean, it was
It's perfect.
It is perfect. It is a perfect Captain America movie.
I loved it. I even liked Falcon.
It introduced the Falcon, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't care for the Falcon later on. I think he's going to be good in the new movie coming out. But
I hope so.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good too. Now
it is looking good.
Some tweaking, but I love the suit, the Falcon Captain America suit.
Yeah,
it looks great to me.
Yeah,
but yeah, dude.
Well,
Winter Soldier's badass.
Captain America's suit and Winter Soldier, I thought was different and cool. It
is different. Yeah, it's kind of muted.
Yeah,
it's more of a grounded movie.
Well,
when Winter Soldier comes in wearing that black mask.
Yep.
And that metal arm just throwing bombs under cars. Holy shit.
So good. So good. Yeah. No, that is, you're right. That is the best entry the MCU has given us yet.
Yep.
So.
I'm putting Guardians of the Galaxy right after that.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. I would do that.
There's a lot of them that I like, but I wouldn't say they're great movies.
I mean, I have obviously a soft spot for, Avengers Infinity War and Endgame, but that's because it kind of wrapped up everything. And so it was like, it was
all fan service.
It was cool and it was everything I wanted. But in terms of like a story, in terms of a movie, if I'm going to sit down, if somebody comes to me and says, I've never watched an MCU movie, which one should I sit down and watch? We would sit down and watch Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yep. Okay, so that was your
number 3.
That was your number 4. So yeah, and that was my number 3. So why don't you do your number 3 and I'll do my number 4?
My number 3 is X2.
Okay.
Just absolutely phenomenal movie. I think it could have been the perfect spot to transition into more comic accurate stuff going forward, away from the leather suits.
Yeah.
Like it had that feel. It had a comic book feel to it. And an X-Men feel. Like that was the X-Men on TV.
It was. Was. And then they just went and did X3 and it's like, what are you doing, guys?
I don't know what it is, but the feel of that movie was just huge. And it only took place in like a couple spots, but it just felt like a giant world.
Well, and it opened up a lot of like Wolverine and everything, and it kind of adapted a little bit of the God Loves Man Kills, and just there was so much good stuff in that movie that it was the perfect X-Men movie. Like I said, it edged out Days of Future Past, which is also a really, really good X-Men movie, and Logan, in my opinion, which is also a really good X-Men movie, but it's more of just a Wolverine flick. But but X2 was like, it was it, man. That was that scene with Nightcrawler in the White House in the beginning.
Yeah.
Dude, it is one of the best action sequences on film, and even today, I mean, it is just amazing. So, yeah.
Yeah, and that was 20 freaking years ago,
right?
Man.
Right?
They were doing stuff that looked that good, and now we get the bullshit we're getting today.
Mm-hmm. I know. So, my number 4, because, again, we're switching. My number 4 is another Frank Miller entry. It's Sin City.
I thought about that one. And I do love that movie.
The first one.
Yeah.
Dude, I watched that movie so many times. Talk about
I did too.
Style and just panache and flair. I mean, that movie just leapt off the page. And you had Marv, you had the man with the yellow skin. You had, I mean, it's just
the yellow bastard.
The yellow bastard. That was it. Yeah. I mean, it's just like, it's so good.
That's really the one and only big time comic book movie with a superstar studded cast that has ever worked. Like no other one where they cast huge stars has ever made it. Like all the ones that are great are lesser known actors.
Yeah.
Except Robert Downey Jr., but he had become a lesser known actor.
He was a risk. He was a huge risk for Disney, or well, for Marvel to do Iron Man, you know?
Yep.
And, no, I'm telling you, dude, Sin City, though, was special when it came out. And what was nice, you know, I had always seen the comics, then I saw the movie, and then I read the comics. It's like...
Yeah, same here.
You know, and once I read the comics, I was like, holy shit, this is... like, dude, people shit on Frank Miller, and look, is his style significantly different now than it was back in the 80s when he was doing Daredevil and Batman? Yes, it is significantly different. And, but I don't mind. I mean... You know, that's the thing.
I'm going to say it's not really a style anymore. It's more of a handicap.
I think it I will agree. I'll give you that because I think it does keep him from getting new readers.
Like, well, I mean, like, I don't think he's capable of doing what he wants to do. Like, his hands don't work as well.
Maybe. Possibly. I don't know. I don't know enough about him to know if he's, like...
He's got to be up
he's
there
elder.
too,
Yeah, he's definitely elderly, but I don't know, you know, what his health condition necessarily is. But I'll say that, you know, it's different. But dude, when you look at like Jack Kirby, his artwork changed over the course of his career, you know, and you know everybody kind of. I'm getting into comics for a minute, but like people rag on like various artists for not being realistic. It doesn't have to necessarily be realistic. It's cartooning. I mean,
I don't want it to be realistic.
No, it's cartooning, and so like these guys have a style. You know, love him or hate him, Rob Liefeld. You know, he's got fans because they enjoy his style, and his style.
He's one of the most exciting artists ever.
His style that's a good way of putting it. Exciting. You know, it's balls to the wall '90s action. You know. And, you know, it's just, it's
without him, you wouldn't have Deadpool.
No, you wouldn't. So. And that's the thing. It's all about style. And if everybody drew the exact same way, it'd be boring as hell. But anyway.
Absolutely.
So, yes, but no, Sin City, amazing movie. If you're looking for a gritty kind of crime movie, Sin City's where it's at. All right, so I think we're both on number 2 now.
We are. And I can almost guarantee you that neither one of us have the same movie. I would put money on it.
This will be interesting because I have a real out of left field number 2.
Okay. When it gets to your turn, I'm going to guess.
Okay.
Okay, so my number 2. You ready?
Yep.
Is The Crow.
It is not The Crow.
It's one of my absolute favorite movies, period.
Okay.
Like, it's like short, it's to the point, there's a story to tell, they tell it, it looks amazing. Brandon Lee was the Crow, like, better than the comics. And that never happens.
Okay.
I just love it. I love everything about it. I can recite the movie.
Well,
it's just incredible.
I'm going to be honest with you. I've never seen it.
Oh my gosh, Nick.
It was one of the...
Well, right now is the perfect time because there's a 4K version on like Peacock or something. It's either Peacock or Paramount, one of the two.
Okay.
You have to watch that movie. You're going to love the shit out of that movie.
Okay. It's going to be weird when I see him, you know, obviously die, but, you know.
Dude, it's so good. And every one afterwards was just god-awful.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know
why they kept going with it. I mean, I'm sorry, but when something like that goes down on your movie, you know, do you really go and do a sequel?
Well, I know why, because there's different iterations.
Okay.
Like, they're different characters.
Okay.
So they tried to keep the story going
Yeah.
But it just wasn't as good.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Now, you're number 2.
Yes.
I'm going to
my
guess
number 2. What is my number 2?
Road to Perdition.
Nope.
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Horrible movie. Love the comic. Horrible movie.
Yeah. Okay, I'm out of guesses.
Dread with Carl Urban.
Dude, that's one of my honorable mentions.
Dread with Carl Urban is a fantastic movie. The original Judge Dredd with Sylvester Stallone sucks giant dick. But but Dread with Carl Urban is an amazing movie. I wish to God they'd do a sequel.
Me too.
It was such a simple movie. It was a very basic premise. Judge Dredd and his partner get called to this apartment building, and they have to deal with some shit. And the building goes on full lockdown, and they have to get to the top floor to take out the bad guys. And it's
wreck shop.
And it's the mayhem that takes place as they make it from the ground floor to the top floor. And it is just an awesome movie. Carl Urban plays Dredd and never takes the helmet off once. He's just as angry and cantankerous as you would expect Judge Dredd to be. And it is just an amazingly good, simple action sci-fi movie. I love it so much, Dredd. And actually, I met Carl Urban at a Comic-Con and got him to autograph a 8x10 of him in the Dredd helmet.
That's badass, dude.
Yep. So.
Yeah, I do love that movie.
Yep.
Absolutely love it. That's like my number 11.
Okay. All right. Well, it was my number 2. So.
Okay.
So I think it's fairly obvious where my number 1 is going to end up. But what is your number 1 favorite comic book movie?
You'll never guess it.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
You guessed it first try.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, it's my number 1 favorite comic book movie ever. Ever since I saw it when I was a kid, dude, it's just amazing.
That would probably be my number 11. I'll give you that. You're talking about Dredd being your number. That would probably be my number 11. It was so good when we were kids, man.
It's still good. It's got drama. It's got comedy. It's got action. There's no freaking CGI. I mean, people actually made that movie.
Well, and I like it so much more than any of the sequels.
Yeah, and I liked 2 okay.
The problem with 2 was it became popular at that point. With 1, it was still kind of like a little raw. 2, by that point, it was like the
toys were still out there, so it was like cartoony, but that movie was not cartoony.
No.
It's a movie for anybody.
Yeah. So my number 1 is The Dark Knight with Heath Ledger as the Joker. I was going to say that one was probably super obvious, but dude, in terms of a Batman film, that one it's my top of the mountain right there. It has not gotten better since. I mean, I will say the newest one with Robert Pattinson,
something.
I liked it.
I love it,
but it doesn't beat Dark Knight with Heath Ledger.
I'll tell you what, the only thing in that movie that brings it down for me is Two-Face. They should not have made him Two-Face in the movie yet, and maybe it could have happened at the end or something, but that just totally threw it off. And not to take anything away from Heath Ledger's Joker, because that is the best comic character ever. Maybe the best character ever.
It plays in, he's one of the only, I think he's the only guy who's ever won an Oscar, granted after his death, for playing in a comic book movie.
You're probably right.
But my point is, though, they had to, because that was kind of the whole point of the movie, was the whole, you either live long enough, or you're either, what is it? What's the line? You
either die a hero or live long enough to become a villain.
That's it. And that was the problem, is that, with him surviving, he lived long enough to become the villain, and they had to do it. And then it drove, obviously, Batman into villain territory, because at that point, Batman had to, kind of accept the fact that you know, he had to shoulder the responsibility for killing Dent. He couldn't let Jim Gordon do it, you know, and you know, he's like, you know, as a symbol, I can carry the weight, you know, and that was what I really liked about the Christopher Nolan movies, is that it kind of encapsulated that, like, you know, you have Batman as like an individual, but then you also have him as this like this symbol, that's this like rallying cry for the people of Gotham to, like, you know, get their shit together and become better, and you know. That movie kind of, it played into that, and I loved that. I don't know, I loved that movie so much.
Yeah,
so,
it's really good. Like, I just didn't know where to fit that into my list.
And dude, the bit with Joker with the pencil.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, I remember seeing that in the theater and going, oh, like when it I mean, it's like, that was just brutal. And just, he was so good. I mean, Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, it's what it is, but like nobody has done that character better than Heath Ledger.
Oh, I know. He was amazing. He will always be the best.
Always. So, okay, so
Jack Nicholson was pretty damn good, though.
Jack Nicholson was a different kind of Joker. You know, he was more of the gangster Joker. Whereas Heath Ledger was also a little bit of like but Heath Ledger, I feel like, was the wild dog Joker. He was the Joker that you let off the chain and you didn't know what he was going to do. Like, he was just this wild animal that was just, pure, just
anarchy.
He was anarchy, chaos. Yes, exactly. So, yep.
You know, in a hot take.
Oh, boy.
Unpopular. I actually really like the Joker from Suicide Squad.
Oh, that is a hot take, because no,
like,
dude.
I personally don't know why people hate it so much.
Oh, it was horrible.
Joker is a gangster.
Oh,
and in
but
that
it was
movie,
horrible.
he was a gangster.
I'm not saying, but dude.
He was creepy as shit.
Fuck. All the tattoos and everything. No.
I know. I loved it.
I hated that Joker so much.
I knew you would.
Oh, God. I'll be honest, I did not like... So let's get into the honorable mentions, because this kind of is a good segue into that. I hated the first Suicide Squad so much. The only good thing that came out of that was Margot Robbie and as Harley Quinn. But what I will say is I really did enjoy James Gunn's The Suicide Squad.
See, I actually like the first one better.
What?
Because of how, like, different and cheesy it is.
What are you talking about? They literally took on Starro in the second one, dude. Like, that is, like, way cheesier than taking on, like, you know,
Like, the only thing about the first one I didn't like was Killer Croc. Like, that character was garbage. But I actually really like all of the other characters.
Captain Boomerang was in the first one, right?
Yes, he was great.
Yeah, and he was the other good part of the first one. Captain Boomerang and Margot Robbie.
What's the fire guy's name?
Oh, El Diablo.
I really liked him.
El
Diablo. I love that character.
Yeah.
I love that actor. He's awesome.
Well, see, and I had heard somewhere that first Suicide Squad was supposed to tie in with all of Zack Snyder's, like, DC stuff, to where, like, she was supposed to be opening up like a boom tube to Apocalypse or something like that. And I think those were supposed to be like, I think they were supposed to at some point fight parademons instead of like little ghosty things and shit.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. Whatever. The bottom line is the first one did not work for me, but the second one you had, that's where you got John Cena as Peacemaker for the first time. You got them fighting Starro. You got the Polka Dot Man. I mean, like, there was some really good shit going on in that second one. It was much more fun, and I think James Gunn leaned into the kind of wackiness of the DC universe a little bit.
Yeah, I think what threw me off was it felt like Guardians of the Galaxy. to me.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
Yeah. I'll give you that.
That seems to be a theme with me, I guess. Like, when you're just, like, copying your style over and over again, like Zack Snyder does, I don't like that.
Well, I'm worried
you gotta take some chances.
I'm very curious to see a Superman movie.
Yeah, I think he'll do a good job on that because Superman needs something different.
Yeah.
Than what we've gotten.
Yeah.
Everybody freaking loves Man of Steel for some reason. I don't personally get it, but whatever.
I have some problems.
Superman.
I have some problems with Man of Steel. But
I don't know what comic book they've read to make them think that version of Superman is Superman.
Well, and one of my other honorable mentions was Superman 2. Because
yeah, me too.
Superman 1, you've got Christopher Reeve taking on Gene Hackman as Lex Luthor, which granted I love Gene Hackman, but basically it was a land deal, and it's like all right, this is okay. Superman 2 though, that's when you have him fighting the other evil Kryptonians. We got to see some knockdown brawls in Metropolis, and
yeah, I bet I watched that movie 100 times when I was little.
It was so good, definitely the best of the Christopher Reeve movies.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
But yeah, that's on my honorable mention list too.
So I got a short honorable mention list. We've already talked about Dredd, and you brought up Sin City. That was on it.
Okay.
And then the only other one I had, and I only put it on here because probably not a lot of people have seen it, is The Old Guard.
The Old Guard?
Did you watch? Yeah, it's on Netflix.
I don't even know that one.
It's got Charlize Theron.
Okay.
They're like immortals. Dude, it's really good, and so is the comic book.
No, I'm not familiar with it. I'm not familiar with either one of them. Okay. Well, no, I'll have to check that out.
We're supposed to be making a sequel.
Interesting. The other one on my honorable list, we talked about Logan. We talked about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We just touched on Superman 2 and Hellboy. But the only other one I have on my honorable mention list is From Hell.
Yeah, I considered that one also, but I haven't seen it in so long. I didn't really remember it.
Same, and that's why I left it off.
Yeah,
but I remembered
that I liked it.
Exactly. I remembered I liked it, and I knew, and it's about Jack the Ripper and hunting Jack the Ripper and everything, and it's, I remember it's good, but I don't remember enough about it to be able to, talk about it.
Yeah.
So, by the way, I have finished my Tabernacle Goliath. Super good cigar. I really did enjoy it, and now, just because we still have some more episode left, and it's nice out, and why the fuck not, I fired up a Brickhouse Natural Toro. So, something to end my night with. So I guess that would be our top comic book movies. Before we go any away from the Villiger Report, you have anything that you've watched lately that you want to plug?
We've caught up on, which is also comic book related, Resident Alien. Really, really like that show.
Okay.
It's freaking hilarious. I haven't been watching much, man. My summer has been super busy.
Yeah.
All summer, and it's going to be busy till October. This is I kind of jumped on this chance to record so I could sit down and just not do anything.
Yeah.
So it's been kind of nice. And
I was you're coming into con season and everything else.
Yeah,
again,
I have 2 or 3 conventions coming up, then 2 barbecue cook-offs back to back. It's going to be a busy September, buddy.
Gotcha. What barbecue cook-offs? If there's anybody listening that's maybe near one, what barbecue cook-offs can they go and check you guys out at?
We're doing our first KCBS sanctioned cook-off in Mount Vernon, Indiana.
Okay.
Called Smoke on the Ohio. That is September 13th and 14th. And if those dates are a day off, it's that weekend. Okay. Whichever weekend that is. Then the very next weekend, We are going to be in Murfreesboro for the big cook-off there. We're partnering with Louis to do the whole hog portion, which we have never, ever done. But you should come hang out, man.
That's intimidating. When is
that?
We're
just going to be the weekend after that, like the 20th or whatever it would be.
I think I have my son that weekend. Because
I think
the following weekend is the New England Cigar Expo. And I'm going to that. So, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So, whole hog. Yeah. That seems intimidating.
Yeah, it's a big cook-off, man. It's like one of the biggest in the nation.
Dear God.
And we'll see. Like he got another guy that we know to do just the brisket. I think they're going to do the rest, the Louis team, and they don't. I think their whole hog has been the weak point because it takes so much attention, and you're doing all this other shit. Like you can't really focus on it, so we're going to help them out and see what we can do.
Okay.
Like we've never done it before, so if we don't get last, we win. Like to us.
Hey,
so we'll see.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, all the big boys come out for that. Heath Riles and all the big ones that everybody's heard of.
Okay. All right. Well,
it's going to be good.
So you guys are competing in the big leagues now.
Yeah, kind of. We're going to try to do one or two a year. And, and an announcement that, people already know after last Wednesday when they're listening to this. We are full force again. All three of the guys, Smokin' Butts and Tappin Ash, are going to be on the show going forward, but we're doing one super show a month.
Oh.
We're just going to blow it out, have like a 2-hour show, actually have a lot to talk about, pack the show full of goodness, and not have to worry about scheduling.
Okay. Well, there you go. I mean, if it keeps it going, then you got to do what you got to do, and you need to be able to adjust on the fly. I mean, I went to one a week during my move and everything, so it shit happens, life happens, and sometimes
and I'm sure we'll do some pop-up episodes here and there, but that's the plan.
Okay. Well, why don't we now go ahead and fly high with Blackbird Cigars? It's time to fly high with Blackbird Cigars. Blackbird Cigars offers you remarkable quality using the most delicate and finest tobacco to always ensure that you're receiving unsurpassed cigars. Blackbird Cigars strives to give you undoubted repeating flavor for every cigar you smoke and impressive quality so that you can always expect greatness. Check out their website for a full list of stores carrying Blackbird Cigars and give them a test flight. Blackbird Cigars can't clip our wings. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about Dana Koontz. Dana Koontz is an 8-time world high diving champion and 7-time world record holder for highest dives. He won his first world championship in 1977 and held a 7-year winning streak. He was tied with the world record for highest dive at 172 feet until that record was broken by Randy Dickinson, who dived at 174 feet and 8 inches. Dana Koontz currently owns a company that produces high diving shows. So be like Dana Koontz and Blackbird Cigars and don't let anybody clip your wings. Or in this case, stop you from falling 100 and something feet, into the water.
Yeah, that would be bad.
I mean, I guess it would be bad. I mean, it'd be bad for you and me. But, he's a pro, so he knows what he's doing.
He would know what to do.
He knows what to do. So, But there you go. And, guys, this is the time of the show that I tell you that you don't want to be a fucker. You need to drink fucking good coffee. And fucking good coffee, go over to their website, fuckinggoodcoffee.com. You can check out all the different blends that Nick has available. Light roast to dark roast, something for every coffee tasting palate. They all pair well with cigars, but there is the lounge blend that pairs well with every cigar, and it's a great way to start your morning and enjoy it with your cigar out on the patio. He does offer subscriptions with that, so head on over to the website, fuckinggoodcoffee.com. check that out. That's FAH King Coffee, goodcoffee.com. And like I said, don't be a fucker. Drink fucking good. And in terms of the socials, I'm available on Instagram at The Cigar Pulpit. I'm on Facebook, where we have the Pulpit Parishioners group, Twitter/X, YouTube, where you can watch this. And I do need your calls for the Ask the Pulpit shows. Those calls can be called to the hotline at area code 863-874-0000. And Dave, where can people find out more about you guys?
The Smoking Butts and Tappin Ash Facebook page, which is a good time. I imagine since the weather's getting better, we're going to have a lot of people posting their cooks, because people aren't all freaks like us and cook when it's 100 degrees outside.
Yeah, no, probably not.
But other than that, you can see me on Red Banana Art by David Clark on every social platform. And to kind of touch base with you on the Ask the Pulpit, I think if you were to try to smoke a brisket in a camper oven, you would probably burn your house down before it ever got done.
I knew there was somebody I could ask, but you were not the person I was thinking. But then again, I didn't know if the other person knew how to smoke a brisket. So, whatever.
That's just that's my take on it.
There you go. All right then. I like it. I love it so damn much. Anyway, well, Dave, I've appreciated your time tonight. It's always fun talking movies, and
good times.
It's a nice episode to fill in the gaps so that when I'm traveling back, I know that something's available for the people. Got to give the people what they want.
You got to give them what they want.
Hopefully, that moth just went flew too close to the sun there, buddy. Too close to the sun. And now you're coming at my phone. And, yeah. I just watched a moth fly all around the flame of my candle on the table here. And, poor little bastard, he hit the flame, and I watched his wing light up. And
he's a goner.
That's the end of that moth. But I don't know. Let's say it's a wacky, wild world out here. I came out here one day, and I had left a couple of folding chairs up at the table. And by God, if that next day I came out here, there weren't muddy raccoon prints all up in the one chair. So like I had a raccoon just making himself at home at my table, just chilling out and enjoying the patio overnight. So.
I don't blame him.
I know. I mean, he may have smoked a cigar for all I know. I don't know.
He probably did.
Probably
grabbed one of the butts up and
just
smoked away.
Went to town. So, probably tried chewing on it and realized it was nasty and went away. But,
like, what is this fucking doing?
Yeah, this is gross. Anyway, all right. Well, Dave, seriously, man, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome, buddy.
All right. Well, guys, this has been another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. I'm Nick.
I'm Dave.
Everybody stay safe and stay smoky. We really didn't go too far into the weeds on the comic book movie thing.
No, we didn't.
It was pretty good. I thought it was good. So did we touch on what did you say your absolute least favorite comic book movie ever is?
Wonder Woman 84.
That beats out like Howard the Duck and all of the other bad ones?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just because of what I expected and what I got.
Yeah.
Was that far apart. Like, watching Howard the Duck, I pretty much knew what I was getting into.
Yeah, true.
Like, if I know it's going to be goofy and stupid, I'm going to like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Otherwise, I wouldn't take the time to watch it.
That's true. Wonder Woman 84 was just a total disappointment.
Yeah, and the Flash was right.
I knew the
by it.
Flash was
Oh,
going to be
gosh.
horrible, dude. That's the thing. That movie, I could tell going into that was going to be a bad movie. The only redeeming quality of that movie at all was Michael Keaton, and
That was actually my least favorite part. Well, one of my least favorite parts.
Really?
Yeah, because he just didn't fit.
See,
to me, it just whenever you start the movie with a bunch of babies falling out of a skyscraper window, it's going to be horrible.
I mean, in all fairness, he did save the CGI babies.
Yeah, the fake CGI babies.
He put them in a microwave, I think.
Yeah, he put one in a microwave.
He put a baby
and carried it down.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah, it was bad. It was so bad. Although I'll give you another one that was really bad. That second Jason Momoa Aquaman movie.
I don't even register the Aquaman movies as comic book movies because they are nothing like the Aquaman comic books.
No, but dude,
that's not Aquaman.
That second one was really fucking bad, though, dude.
Oh, it was terrible.
I never saw. There's a few I haven't. Ooh, I'll give you another really bad one. That Fantastic Four movie that we got from. Is it Josh Trank? I think was the director.
Yeah, I fell asleep halfway through.
Oh, it was horrific. It was so bad.
Gave up.
So bad.
Ghost Rider 2 is another bad one.
That one's pretty bad. I'll tell you, I liked the first two Fantastic Four movies with Jessica Alba and Michael Chiklis.
Yeah, I did too.
I mean, I wish we would have seen an actual Galactus and not just a fucking cloud. But
but that was what was hot in the comics. That was the ultimate Galactus.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Yep, I agree.
We're gonna get a good one.
We better.
We better. So, all right, take it easy, everybody.